hard time this afternoon. Pat called and said, told me that you were at home, you couldn't get away, you couldn't go yet.
I was tipped. Let me tell you something. Chris done taken my car. Did Pat tell you about that?
No, I didn't understand the circumstances either. I just knew.
Tommy and Harry shoes, his shoes. And I was waiting for the car, and Chris had my car.
It's
And here
Tommy
I am.
coming?
Yeah, Tommy's coming.
Oh.
I figure it's going to be a very exciting evening, let me tell you. Wait a minute, someone's coming in. They're looking through. Oh, Lordy, who could it be? The restroom is on the other side of this lattice room. On the left-hand side.
That wasn't it. She didn't give it.
Well, I'm just going to turn this off.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Surprise!
I should have known, but I was told.
It'd be real easy if I didn't. And I wouldn't. I've got a lot of friends out there, at least I feel like I do, and I hope they will remember me. And if they, I would like them to come by and see me sometime and don't forget about me. And thank you.
I'd like to echo what Denny said. I don't believe there's a finer person walking on the face of the earth than Bill Stuckey. I'll say it to his face right now. And we have had the privilege of fellowshipping with his family. And I've had the fellowship with some hunting with Bill. And I know it in a personal way that with his hair down and just being Bill. And it's been a privilege to associate with Bill. And I'm looking forward in the future to a lot more of that. At this time, the guys at work, Bill, we've got a small thing here that we want to give you. Bill, this is a saltwater rod for you young men. Here's a package right here that goes with it. And I know you have the bait shrimp because I gave them to you. So now you've got the line to go on it. And we expect a fish fry about the end of May. 5 o'clock, Saturday the 12th of May, on Bill's Line. But Bill, on behalf of all the guys who work, we appreciate what you did out there for us through the fun and working, and we hope you enjoy it.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's great.
Hey, Bill, let's just in the middle. Hey, Bill, stick your arm out there and see if it'll hang on.
Oh, yeah. Bill, take the coat off his arm until he started over and tell it. Bill, tell the story again. Some people out.
Oh, no.
Come on, Bill.
Go ahead, make it complete for yourself.
Oh, the storyteller, he's taking a seat. This is going to be a long one.
That's a small owl. That's a big owl.
I think his owl was what, this big?
Let me tell you what. I'll tell you how.
Here's the
A few years ago, tell us what day was now. Before I go any further, I'm going to tell you the story. But I told you the owl was that high, and I told a young boy in a church group one time about it, and it's all laughed just like y'all are doing. Boy, he was about 14 years old when I told him. He was about 22 last time I saw him. He came by my house, and he got me off the side, and he said, "Mr. Stuckey, I want to tell you something." He says, "You remember the story about the owl you told?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "You know, I thought you were lying." But he said, the other day, he said, "I saw an owl." he was as big as one you said. I believe that story from now on.
I bet it was the same one that got you, Bill.
Might have been. But anyway, the story was that I guess it was about 20 years ago, when I was working the midnight, it wasn't a midnight shift, it was a shift you get off at 3 o'clock in the morning. And this was, things weren't grown up like they are now around here. But on Red Bank Road, when you turn off of 52 and you head towards Goose Creek, the bridge down there, before they made the road real big, you go take a dip down. There was this area when I got to it this particular morning after getting off work. Right in the middle of the road, it was a real foggy day, just like you see in the movies. I mean, you couldn't drive 20 miles an hour. And I get there, and right in the middle of the road is this owl. And he is, I'm telling you, that owl is that Anyway, I mean, he was in the middle of the road, and I'm driving my pickup truck, and I'm doing about 20, and I get it, these eyes are sitting right here at me. And I drive up, and I stop. And the owl is like, oh, I guess he's about 30 feet from me. And I stop, and I'm looking at the owl, and my headlights are right on it. And he's just sitting there, standing there. So, I don't know why, but I stopped my truck, and I got out, and I walked up, and the owl, he's still standing there, looking straight at me. And I walked up to him, I mean, really close. I mean, close as me and Julie there. And, oh, Julie, about like this, and the owl is standing there looking at me, and I'm standing there looking at the owl, and the owl's looking at me. And there's no cars on the road, there is absolutely nothing, it's just as foggy as it can be. So I walked up a little bit closer to the owl. I walked up just like this, and I'm looking down the owl, and he's looking at me, and I'm standing.
Was he taller than you?
Anyway,
Aunt Thea. Aunt Thea.
I looked at him, and I started moving my hand like that, and he went, and he flew up in this tree right beside the road.
Now, how did he fly, Bill?
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
So, I mean, I figured that's it. So I turned around, and I started walking back. And I take about 3 or 4 steps, and like this, the owl is right here in front of me. And there he is. I mean, I'm looking at him, he's rolling. And I'm thinking, well, you know, must be tame or something, you know? I mean, so, I reached over there, you know, like this, and I was standing like that. He didn't move. I got my hand right up to it, right there. I put my hand. Finally, I got my hand, you know, just right, almost touching it. I leaned back. So I reached my hand a little bit closer like this, and I get about 2 inches from him, and he would lean back 2 inches. And I'd pull my hand back, and he'd straighten back up. So if I'd push my hand over, and he'd lean back like this. Back up like this. Then I'd push my hand a little bit further, and he'd go like this as soon as I pull my hand. And you may not believe this, but this is the truth. The owl, finally, I put my hand all the way over, and I pushed him no, didn't touch him, but he leaned all the way back to his head.
God, it's getting better and better.
Like this. And I put back at me. He popped right. I mean, I don't know how in the world Al can do that. But I mean, he could actually stand and lean all the way back and never lose his momentum on his feet like he did with magnets on the table. I did that a couple of times. Finally, this is when I made my mistake. I thought, well, you know, he must be tame. He's not flying, he isn't scared. So I reached over like that, and he leaned. I put my hand like that, and he leaned all the way back, and I put my hand down like that, and when I touched the breast of the owl, boy, as soon as I touched him, he touched me. His foot that was glued to the concrete reached up and grabbed me right there. And you may not believe, but I mean, the owl, I believe he can crush a brick. It's unreal. His little legs not half as big as my little finger, but I mean, the strength is just unreal. He grabbed a hold of me, and And I thought I had a hold of him, and I thought, well, it's going through my mind. If I let loose of you, you'll let loose of me, but it didn't work that way. I let out grab that much strength. And we sat there, and finally I got down, and I tried to pull the leg like that. I'd work with it, I'd work with it. It wouldn't turn loose, and I got this out, and I thought, well, now I'm in the middle of the highway out here, you know. And my headlights are shining right on me, so it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm holding this owl, you know, trying to get him loose. And the owl, all the time, big old eyes, just sitting there looking at me. So finally, I said, well, you know, what am I going to do? I can't get him loose. And so I said, well, there's nothing to do but to take him home. So I go get in my truck. Walking over my truck, I get in my truck, and I said, this is going to be kind of hard to do, you know, to drive with this owl hanging on my hand. So I'm trying, so I got the owl, and first I'm trying to hang him out the window, and then finally I get him over, and I'm trying to, he's on this hand, and I can't, you know, I can't hang him out the window and drive, and I can't, it's hard to drive like this. But anyway, I finally worked it out. I got it, you know, I got my hand down like this, and I'm trying to shift the gears in one hand, working one hand. All the time, the owl was laying in the seat, and he's down there looking at me. He wouldn't. I got home, and I got outside to I got in the garage, and I went out. I got the garage door open, went inside, and I got up there on the steps in the garage, and I sat down there with that owl. I started working with it, and I started pulling. I mean, sweat was coming off. It was heavy. I mean, pulling. You know, he wasn't heavy, but the strength was just unreal. I mean, he had a hold of me, and he just would not turn loose. And I finally got him down, and I got my foot. I don't want to hurt the owl, but I got him down there. Working it. Finally, after so long, I mean, I don't know how much time went by, but quite a bit. And I don't know, some way, I finally got loose that owl. And the kids, Julie and Chris and Scott, they were all real small at the time. And I said, you know, I want these kids to see this owl. So I had some twine there, and I went and took the twine, I tied his leg there, and I went inside, woke Pat up. I said, what in the world's wrong? I said, come out here, I want to show you something. So I brought her out there, and see this owl, he was mad as a hornet, you know, getting her out. 3 o'clock in the morning, he'd come and go out in the garage and look at an old owl. And, but anyway, I wanted to wake the kids up then. She said, no, I said, let's wait till in the morning. So anyway, I took the owl, and I took the cord, and I tied it on this tree. And next morning, I got up, and I got the kids all up and went out, and the owl was gone. Anyway, that's the story.
It was a dream.
Yeah, but now you've got to tell them what that owl cost you in doctor bills.
I had to go to the doctor the next day. I
Psychiatrist or doctor?
He said, what's wrong? And I said, well, I
picked up this owl.
yeah, I said, I picked up this owl. He said, you picked up an owl? I said, yeah. He said, my gosh, he said, I said, I figured I need a tetanus shot. He says, no, he said, you don't, he says, you don't need a tetanus shot. I thought I needed rabies is what's going through my mind, not tetanus. He said, no, he said, rabies has to be a nurse breast-sucking mammal. And he said, you do need a tetanus shot, he said. But anyway, he got a big charge out of that. And, anyway, that's the story about it.
That's a real story.
Yeah, and Pat, how big was the owl?
Pat,
How big did you say?
Let me say something for you. If that owl was that high and he had him hanging out there, and he pulled him in and out that
Let me just put it this way.
Tired.
I was just fixing to say, it might have been a little bigger than the total of that.
Come on now, Pat, that's not true. That's the owl.
We need to take that right wheel too.
Now, I was told that's the real size.
No, that thing, the one I had wasn't even brown.